Hey everyone, my name is Jennifer Edwards and I am a business consultant. I'm the owner of Direction LLC and I have a subject matter that I want to chat about today. Something that really helped me in this whole overwhelmed feeling when it came to social media. In particular, the amount of time that is spent creating content and posts and all of that and not really feeling like I'm getting a huge return on my investment. So something that really helped me was just a formula. But before I get started, I want to tell you a little bit about Direction LLC. Sorry about that. Should have gotten some water before I got started. So I created Direction because I had this experience and I really just wanted to share my experience. In my heart, I just want to help people. I want to help business owners succeed. And one of the ways that I want to do that is I understand from being a small business owner how much of a burden the business of the business is. And so just taking that experience and putting it all together, helping owners chase their vision and their passion, and then find other ways for all the other businessy stuff to get done. That's where I want to help people succeed. That's my heart right there. Simplify those procedures and those systems so that you can either hire it done by a freelance person or you can do it yourself in a much reduced amount of time. So that is kind of my, that's my desire. That's what I really want to do to help business owners. Cause I remember, and I have to do it now cause I am a solopreneur. I have to handle all the accounting and the bookkeeping, and I don't have employees right now, but leadership development, when we had 32 employees at one point. Good night. Leadership development, and then business structure and promotional ladders and systems and procedures and goal setting and following through on goal setting for each and every one of those 32 employees, and succession planning. What are we going to do after the fact? So all of that, I understand, goes into being a business owner, and my heart really is, I just want to see businesses succeed. There's some great people out there with some amazing vision, and I feel like they just deserve to make it. And that's really my heart. So anyway, one of the things that just really, in being a busy business owner, that really just gets, almost in my way, and it's almost like a cloud hanging over all the time, is all of this social media that, I call it a necessary evil. You have to do it. You have to be involved in it. You have to have the posts and the content, and it has to be good and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, it drives me up a wall. Until I changed my relationship with Facebook. And when I say Facebook, that's almost generic for all social media, but in particular, Facebook. I was listening to BNI, powerofone.com, Tim Roberts, and in BNI, there is basically a formula that they use, and they apply it to everything, including social media. And it is, they call it VCP. But really what that stands for is visibility plus credibility equals profit. And when that was applied in this one podcast to Facebook and social media, I just had that light bulb aha moment. And it was like, you know what? It serves me. I don't serve it. I changed my relationship. I said to myself, oh my gosh, I had been feeding this monster, this Facebook monster that requires all this content. And I'd put in so much effort and trying to just come up and you got to post twice a day and it's got to be at certain times. And anyway, I was feeding it. Well, it should be my servant. Facebook is my servant. I am not its servant. And once you change your relationship with Facebook like that, all of a sudden things changed. Everything about it changed for me. So, starting at the profit part of that whole equation. So I'm going to go over it. They call it VCP. Visibility plus credibility equals profit. So on the profit side, for profit, you always have to have a return on your investment. And keeping up with social media takes a lot of time, and time is money. And so, you really have to think about, is all the time that I am feeding the monster, the Facebook monster or the Instagram monster or whatever monster it is that you feed, are you getting a return on that investment? Because I know I'm not. And maybe, there's some gurus out there that could say, well, you're doing it wrong. Well, you know what? I am a solopreneur, and I do not have time for this to be complicated. And if they can't make it where it's not quite so complicated, then I don't have time. I need to be meeting with people. I need to be having conversations with real people face to face. And if social media is going to be this difficult and I am serving it and it is not serving me and I'm not getting a return on my investment, I'd rather be spending all my time out face to face with people. That's just the way I look at it. Can I reach more people through the interwebs? Sure I can. But you know what? I am not going to consume all of my most important time feeding that monster. So that's my soapbox right there. I have a love-hate relationship with social media, if you can't tell. And how ironic is that, since I'm sitting here doing this on social media? Does that make me a hypocrite? I don't know. No, it doesn't. Because again, I just changed my relationship. It's going to serve me. I'm not going to serve it. Okay? So I have notes. So I'm just, full disclosure, I spent a lot of time putting together this content, and so I want to make sure I get every little bit out to you. So if you see me looking down and reading a little bit, I'm just looking at my notes. So, so we all know that social media is a daily burden. If you do it the way all the experts tell you, you've got to hit it at certain times and with certain content. So we know that it's quite a burden for everybody out there, especially those small business owners. So if you're not getting very much engagement with your social media, I definitely encourage you to really just think about the visibility plus credibility equals profit formula. Something really did click in my head, and it really did make a difference. It helped me focus. It helped me decide, okay, it's serving me as a way to get my message out there. And when I looked at it that way, it really definitely helped. So one of the greatest ways, I believe, to use Facebook is actually to promote your website. Your website is where the most amount of your content can be, where they will go and they will actually watch and watch your videos or read your blog or whatever. So I was at BNI today. I'm in the Tulsa chapter. We're in the chapter called Power Partners, which, small plug here, we're only the top ranked in the state of Oklahoma. So we're the biggest chapter. We're the most successful chapter in Oklahoma. So little plug there for BNI. But while I'm at BNI, Jason Ralston with McWilliams Media was doing his 7-minute presentation, which was super interesting because, again, he deals with all of this social media stuff all the time and websites, and they actually are experts at getting your website pushed to the top of the Google searches. So I would strongly recommend having a conversation with Jason. But one of the things that he said was they always encourage all of their clients to blog on their website at least once a month, at a very minimum once a month, because what that does is it helps the I think they're called crawlers. He didn't call them this. This is what I've heard them called. They're actually little crawlers out there that look for new content all the time, and that's what pushes it up in the Google searches. It's called SEO, search engine optimization. I know about this much and can get in a lot of trouble by talking about something I don't know, so I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to tell you to call Jason. Anyway, that was one way. And see, so if you go and you blog, then you take that link to your blog and you take that to Facebook feed Facebook that information and let Facebook go back out and push your content out and push them over to your website, which is what you want, right? Because your website is where all your content is. So I would say that using Facebook as your only means of getting your voice out there is probably not your best use of time. It is one way, but it is not the only way. So one of the things that has been a huge time saver for me, and I recommend it, and honestly, I wish I could get paid by them because I tell everybody, and I get no, what do they call it? I don't know what they've got a word for, but I do not get paid by them at all. But I tell people about them all the time. For $120 a year, that's $10 a month, you can load up in a queue 100 posts for your social media outlet. So Facebook, for example, you can put 100 posts in, and it will post them whenever you tell them to. So let's just say twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. So that's 50 days of posts that you have plugged in. That's amazing. And you can put up to 10 accounts in there. So if you have Twitter and you have Facebook and you have Instagram and you got all the other ones out there that I don't know about, you could literally get them all loaded up like in a weekend or something. You just decide that's what you're going to do. I actually did it one weekend when I was sick, and I loaded it up, and I haven't had to think too much about it. I go in, I add some little things here and there, and I spruce it up some. But anyway, it's called Buffer app, Buffer app, and I strongly suggest that you go check it out. It is so worth every penny. $120 a year. Okay, so not only do they offer this great service, but they also have some of the best blog posts. And so on September 19th of this year, 2017, they posted something that I found was very interesting. And this goes along with Feeding the Monster, okay? This is, it just gets under my skin. But, okay, so I am going to read this quote word for word. So in this blog, they said, engagement on Facebook pages has fallen by 20% since the start of 2017. So you're feeding this monster constantly, and you're putting all this time and all this effort, and guess what? The engagement is falling by 20%, meaning the people aren't even seeing your page, right? They're not even pushing it out to the people who've liked your page. They got this information. It says, according to BuzzSumo, who analyzed over 880 million Facebook posts by brands and publishers. So, I say that to prove my whole point on changing your relationship with social media. It cannot be your only means of getting your word out for your business. It just can't, because you're spending a ton of time. I'm spending a ton of time. I'm feeding the monster, and I'm not getting a return on my investment. So, Buffer's great. They did come up with 14 ways to help with engagement. And I'm going to list them, but I will also put the website address out there for you. And I would not recommend, sorry, itchy nose, allergies. I would not recommend at all that you go try to do all these at once. If anything, I would recommend that you start with the first one, test it, see if it works, and then keep going to the next one until you find one that you hit on, okay? Because 14 things, we're going to get right back into feeding the monster and the overwhelmed thing. But these are really good suggestions. So 14 tactics you can try today to increase your Facebook engagement. Post less. There you go. Post when your fans are online. So that means you got to do a little research and figure out when they're out there. I don't know how to do that. But this blog post will tell you. Create specifically for Facebook. Try videos. Go live. Here I am going live. Share curated content. Ask for opinions. Boost your top posts. In other words, pay. Recycle your top posts, which means that you're not having to create new content all the time, which is great. Watch other Facebook pages. Experiment with new content. Reply to comments. Host giveaways occasionally, it says, and create a linked Facebook group. I will put that in the comments so that you can read all of those. But again, I would absolutely not suggest that you go try to do them all at once. I would do one at a time and see which ones work. So other than that, I would say that changing your relationship, keeping in mind that visibility plus credibility equals profitability. And I'd love to hear anything that you've done to help change your relationship and become successful on Facebook, so that you're not spending tons of time out there with getting no return on your investment. So if you would like to contact me, I would love to hear from you. There are a couple of ways you can do that. You can visit my website at www.bizdirectionllc.com. You can call me at 918-850-3736, or you can email me at jennifer@bizdirectionllc.com. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.